Alright, so hi everybody, my name is Alex and I'm here to talk to you about the loss and creation of children in the Philippines, or, teenage pregnancy. So according to the latest information given by the Philippine Commission on Population and Development, the rates for teenage pregnancies in girls aged 15 to 19 years old actually decreased in 2018. And that's a great thing. But the problem is that the rates for teenage pregnancies in very young adolescents, or those girls aged 10 to 14 years old, have only been increasing since 2011. And the thing about those births is that only about 64 were fathered by boys in the same age group. In girls aged 15 to 19 years old, only about 3% of the births are fathered by men in the same age group. This tells us that so many of these very young girls may have been victims of abuse and exploitation. And so these teenagers, these children basically, who are below 18 and then have children of their own, are then less likely to finish high school, thus perpetuating the cycle of poverty and creating a positive feedback loop. So to explain that idea further, let's talk about the different factors that influence frequent pregnancies in adolescents, such as lower educational attainment, lower economic status, and a limited access to contraception, sex education, and access to healthcare facilities that provide free reproductive healthcare for adolescents. And so the more that teenagers stay out of school, the greater their likelihood of getting pregnant. And if they get pregnant, this seriously impacts their economic earning potential in the future, thus keeping them in the same economic status and perpetuating the cycle over and over again. And it won't stop unless we actually do something to intervene. So the UN Population Fund suggests that we should implement comprehensive sex education, as well as make sure that our teen parents in the Philippines have access to proper social welfare services to ensure a brighter future for themselves and their children. And, it's high time that we stopped thinking about teenage pregnancy and sex in general through just a singular lens, because it's an incredibly multifaceted issue encompassing medical, socioeconomic, and cultural fields, just to name a few. And, it's time that we stopped fear-mongering and guilt-tripping our teenagers into avoiding sex, because that has never worked. Instead, we should give them the right resources and tools to facilitate rational decision-making and safe sex practices, which, by the way, does include delaying sexual debut. We should teach our teenagers about sexuality, puberty, sexually transmitted diseases, as well as concepts like abuse and consent, and through these comprehensive measures, we can actually tackle the issue at its roots.